Okay, good evening, everybody. We're going to commence our meeting of our regular planning meeting of August the 8th, 2024. It's 6 o'clock. Pleased to be joined by my council colleagues, Councillor Peter Campbell from Ward 1, Councillor Giorgio Bichetti from Ward 2, and Councillor Dorothy Kleiber from Ward 4. My name is Mike Pactican. I'll be chairing the meeting today. I'm Deputy Mayor. Mayor Trujan's not able to make it, so we'll get right into it. We've got a heavy agenda. I'll read a resolution to call the meeting to order. Be it resolved that the meeting be called to order and that the agenda for the meeting be adopted as circulated. Can I get a mover, please?
So moved.
Moved by Councillor Kleiber, seconded by Councillor Bichetti. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carried, thank you. Okay, we've got several addendums to the agenda. So number 3, addendums to the agenda, resolution number 2024. We've got 4 items addenda. Item 15.2, Whistler Hollow Playground Safety Base Options. We're looking to add that to the agenda. 15.7, Miscellaneous Correspondence Policy. We're looking to add that to the agenda. We're looking to add 15.8, West St. Paul Trails Committee, Terms of Reference. And finally, we're looking to add 15.10, Tender 2024-06, construct pedestrian and bicycle paths and ditch regarding at the Access Center Recreation Site. And pardon me, there's one more thing. We're going to delete 18.1.6 and 18.3.6 zoning bylaw update. Do I need a mover for that? Need a mover?
I'll move.
Moved by Councillor Campbell, seconded by Councillor Bichetti.
Could you just repeat the 18 numbers? 18 point...
So we're looking to delete items 18.1.6 and 18.3.6 zoning bylaw update.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we've got our mover, seconder. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to item 4, opening remarks. Number 5, planning hearings. We don't have anything. Public hearing. Okay, so I've got a few notes I want to read for the public. So explanation of the process for the public hearings and also a procedure after the hearings. So council wishes to thank you for taking an interest in what is happening in your municipality by attending this evening. The purpose of these public hearings is to receive representations from the applicant and any persons who wish to make them concerning what is being proposed. We will first hear from the applicant, then from those present who wish to make representations, starting with anyone who wants to speak in favor of the proposal, followed by those who are opposed or to object to the proposal. At the end of these other presentations, the applicant will have an opportunity to respond. If anyone intends to make a presentation for any of the hearings scheduled for this evening, please record your name and contact information on the appropriate sign-in sheet located at the desk at the beginning of the council chambers. Applicants may also sign in. If you haven't signed in, please do so now, so you have the opportunity to speak to council. At the end of each presentation, the members of council may ask for clarification from the speaker or any fact or issue, but will not enter into a debate. Persons speaking must address the chair. If they have questions that they think the applicant should answer, they should raise them in their presentation to the chair. The applicant will have an opportunity to respond to questions when other presentations are finished. All right, the procedure after the hearings. I'll read this out for the record. If the hearing is not completed today, whether because we run out of time or further information is to be provided, then we will adjourn the hearing. If we adjourn, we will tell you at this hearing the date of the continued public hearing. There will be no other notice given of the date. Even if all the representations are completed today, we may not be making our decision today. Until our decision is made, there can be no further communication of any kind with council or the members about the proposal. When council makes its decision, all persons who made a representation at the hearing will be notified. Development Plan Amendment. If council decides to give second reading to the bylaw, those who made representation at this public hearing will have an opportunity to file an objection with the Minister of Municipal Government. For a zoning bylaw amendment, if council decides to give second reading to the bylaw, Those who made this objections at this public hearing will have an opportunity to file a second objection with the Red River Planning District. So if you want to have this opportunity, please make sure that you identify yourself as an objector. Subdivision application. When council makes its decision on the application, only the applicant or the Minister of Municipal Government may appeal this decision. Conditional uses and variance. When council makes its decision on the application, it is final. There is no appeal. Okay. I'm going to open 5.1, open public hearing, variance order 49 of 24. Be it resolved that the, sorry, I know. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Be
you
it
have
resolved that the meeting of council recesses for the purpose of holding a public hearing pursuant to section 96A of the Planning Act. Can I get a mover, please?
So moved.
Moved by Councillor Kleiber, seconder. Councillor Bichetti. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Thank you. I'll now turn it over to the planner. Welcome, Mr. Eno.
Thank you,
I should
Mr.
introduce
Chair.
members of the administration. We also have Mr. David Wardrop, our CAO, who's joining us, Mr. Derek Eno from the Red River Planning District, our Municipal Legislative Officer, Ms. Lainey Shaw, and our Director of Economic Development, Ms. Pam Elias. Mr. Eno?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you know, this is variance 49 at 781 Addis. It's to reduce the rear yard requirements of a principal dwelling from 25 feet down to 15 feet 4 inches in order to allow for a deck. So I just want to note that the zoning bylaw actually outlines that when something is attached to the house, you deal with it the same as if it was the entire house. So in this case, it's a deck that they want to attach. So we have to deal with that similarly if it was just the rear wall of the house as it comes to the setbacks. Not the greatest location map, but it's a new development in the new subdivision. Here's the site plan that shows the rear of the property with the house and the proposed new deck, just to outline the red there. There's the deck. It's about 8 feet by 15 feet in size. Open air deck, and as we noted, it's to reduce this down to 15 feet 4 inches. The wall of the building will still adhere to the setbacks, so all we're dealing with, as is noted, is just this deck. Should council wish to approve this, there are a couple of conditions that we would recommend, which are pretty standard. It's that the variance is limited to what's proposed, so if they want to change anything, it has to come back to council, as well as that the applicant obtains all required permits from our office as well from the municipality. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, Mr. Eno. Any questions of the planner
I'll just
before
go
we
back to
open up
that.
representations? Councillor Kleiber?
How big is the lot overall, frontage and side?
I'm sorry?
The lot overall, the frontage and the side?
You know what? I can bring up the lot. Oh, why would this not show on the? Lady, do you know what
If you go to your desktop,
Huh?
you might have to put your display settings
I
down
need it
nearer.
in feet, so I can put it first.
Go into the blue one,
This thing?
just anywhere on your desktop, and right hand click.
This one? Okay.
Well, I see it. It's on the developer application.
There we go.
62 feet wide. I don't know the depth though. but-
Yeah, let me just get that for you. Yeah, about 62 feet by, yep, 113. There we go.
Well, how much?
113.
113, 62 by 113.
Okay, any other questions? Mr. Eno, is the property behind this address, is that going to be the proposed school site? No. Oh, I see, okay. Oh, interesting. Okay,
You gotta refer to Pam. Is that not the school site? It is the school site, yeah. That's
Oh,
where
it is the
the
school site?
road's gonna be closed and then all this block.
okay, thank you. Oh, Councilor Bichetti has a question.
Is the house gonna be a bungalow or is it a two-story? Like, how high is the deck off the ground?
I couldn't tell you if it's going to be a bungalow or not. I'm not sure. But I think the applicant could probably speak to that. Thank you.
Oh, just hold on, You'll get a chance to speak. Okay, any other questions from council? All right, Ms. Elias, is the applicant present?
I believe it's Sukhwinder Sindhu.
Okay, sir, yeah. You may wish to have a seat. State your name and address for the record, please. Hi.
Honorable Chair, my name is Sukhwinder Sindhu. I'm owner of RSB Homes. Address 2 Heraldswood Path, Winnipeg, Manitoba, Hardware 004.
I can't hear you hardly at all. Can you just speak
That's
up?
not a mic
No,
over
just
here.
speak
That's
up.
just for the
Just speak up.
My name is Sukhwinder Sindhu. I'm owner of RSB Homes, the builder.
So you're the home builder?
Yes.
Okay.
My address is 2 Heraldswood Path, Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Okay. Just give us a quick overview of what you're looking to ask for today. You're asking for a reduction of the rear yard from 25 feet to 15.4.
Yes. Because the client, they really want to build a attached deck to the house, right? And it's in the rear yard.
Okay, question from Councilor Bichetti.
So it's a two-story home?
It's a 2-story home, but the deck attached to the main floor, right? It's not a balcony, it's a main floor deck.
Okay, that's.
Any other questions?
Yeah, my question,
Councilor Kleiber?
yeah, I have a question for you. Why didn't you configure this earlier in the build? Like, clearly they wanted the decks earlier, so why didn't you configure that into the setback?
The reason that the lot depth is only 113, right?
So it's too short.
It's too short.
Yeah. So did you let the home builder know that if you ever want a deck, it's not gonna happen because you're too close to the line, basically, to the setback lines?
No.
Yes, but the homeowner, they really want to build it right.
Yeah.
It's their condition, right? Otherwise, that's what we propose, like we can go for the variance, otherwise we can't build it, right?
Yeah, and I mean, the home builder or the homeowner should have bought a bigger lot if they wanted a deck like that, right?
Mhm. But only, these are the biggest lot available in the Meadowland with
Oh, and
62
Meadowlands.
wide. Another lot, they are not that wide, right? That's why they pick this particular lot.
And those people like the wider lot.
Yep.
Okay.
But they building a bigger house there, 3,000 square feet.
Have you built the house already?
No.
Oh, no.
This
you
is
haven't.
still under the permit process, right?
Oh, okay.
So once we get the answer on this variance, then we're gonna proceed with the permits.
Councillor Kleiber, this is contrary to what we usually see. They're asking for permission first.
Yeah. It's a new revelation.
Okay, any other questions or comments from council? Okay, thank you, sir. You'll get opportunity to come back and speak. Ms. Elias, those in support of the application?
No one else is registered in support or in opposition. For information is Jerry Belinkie.
Okay, Ms. Blinky, do you wish to speak
I do.
for information? Please come up and state your name and address for the record, please.
Jerry Blanky, 354 Garden View Drive. I'm against it now. I didn't know what it was because it said one, like square or whatever rectangle on there, and it's, you can't tell. It's a new construction. And what I'm really having a problem is with the sizes of the buildings on the lots. And we're down to narrow easements on the side. We're taking 10 feet, we're adding 270 square feet. And because it's attached to the house, it becomes part of the house. It's the footprint of the house. So after that, you could build whatever you want. You could enclose it, you could do whatever you want. So you're adding almost 300 square feet to the house. But a problem that I'm having with this is we're not having enough of the lands to percolate the water down. We're running all the water down the streets, into the sewers, into the, and our sewer system, when it was built, was approximately for about 4,000 homes, 5,000 homes. and we keep adding and adding and adding. And so now we're sized with a specific size pipe, and we're adding and adding all these developments. We have a lot of developments already approved, and all this either, some of them have storm reservoirs. I don't know if this one has, I don't think it does, but maybe it does. But what we're putting, either too much water down the sewer,
Doesn't go down the sewer.
well, it's gotta go somewhere.
It goes down its own land drainage system.
To where?
So
To the
ponds,
ponds.
to the river.
It has a pond, eh?
It does, yes.
Yeah, but we're not having enough water going into the lands. Like, I mean, it's all runoff. I mean, we see the springtime with a lot of water, a lot of rains, a lot of water everywhere. We don't know if this is the norm, if this is the maximum, or whatever. So we should be preparing for some of this, but I can't see why we have to fill the whole lot with a building. And it's new construction, so it's not like it has to. I mean, it's a want. It's not that, like, does it have to? I mean, why are we having the rules? We gotta stop somewhere. I mean, we keep talking about stopping somewhere, but we keep, everyone, it's gonna be the next one, it's gonna be the next one, it's gonna be when is the next one? So we're taking, almost 10 feet off. So anyhow, that's what I'd like to change mine to against. I don't see it. The variance in my view is that it should be, if a mistake is made and, or some kind of a, 2 or 3 properties create something and there's a situation that can't be avoided, then fine. If we make a mistake for inches or whatever, I can understand that. But right at the instant, taking off 10 feet, I can't see that. Anyhow, that's my view.
Okay, we'll change Mr. Blinky's registration to opposed over here. Any other questions for Mr. Blinky? Nope. Okay, thank you very much.
All righty.
Anybody else for information, Ms. Miles?
For information is Norma Elber.
No? Okay. Anyone else?
And Eleanor Link.
Good evening. Name and address for the record, please.
Eleanor Link, 1045 Toshack Road. Through the mayor to the planner, just to clarify a point in the report, planner's report. If the owners wanted to do with a slab patio or a decorative brick patio on grade, would they need a variance as this deck requires?
No, Mr. Chair, that would not be required. It would be viewed as landscaping.
So then that's an alternative to consider. And then a second question was, looking at the design plan, it seems that there's 2 steps down into the yard. Are those 2 steps considered part of the deck? In other words, are they included in the deck dimensions?
Yes, they are, Mr. Chair. The setback's taken from the steps.
Okay, thank you.
Seeing that there is an alternative to installing a deck, I would change mine to an objection as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Noted, thank you. Change Ms. Link's registration to objection. Any other individuals wishing to speak, Ms. Elias, for information?
No one else registered.
Anyone else who hasn't registered who wishes to speak to the application? Okay, we'll call back the applicant. Sir, would you like to come back and respond to some of the comments that you heard? Yeah, starting things off Councilor Bichetti will kick things off with a question.
Sorry, I asked about the 1 and 2 story. How high is this off the ground? Sorry, how high would this deck be? I know it's roughly right now till you get your grade and everything, but
Probably this is within 2 feet.
2 feet, okay. Councilor Kleiber?
Okay, I'm looking at your plan, and I see at the back you have a balcony. Now, is that balcony on the 2nd floor?
Yes.
Okay. And you also have another balcony off the garage. Now, is that, if the planner could just move up the plan a little bit? Oh, you can't? Well, you can see it there, it's, you have balcony, and then you have sort of a blank space, I don't know what that is. And then you have a garage. What is, so how big is that balcony that's off the garage? It looks like it's, I don't know,
This part here.
I don't know what the second part of this
Can you
is.
see, I don't know if you can see it right in here.
It's in the middle of the.
Right here.
Let me open the drawings.
That's maybe another pin. It's just a garage here, right? So you're making, because it's all the foundation. Yeah, that's right. The foundation match right here.
This is a big balcony. It's a balcony.
You could put bedroom.
Yeah.
It's a second story as possible.
Yeah. It must be on top of the garage, I think that's what I'm seeing here.
So on the top of garage, we got a sunroom and the balcony, which is 9 feet wide by 70 feet.
Oh, so you already have a sunroom there and a balcony?
Yes. The
People like
bigger
outdoors.
block is the sunroom,
Yeah.
and the side is the balcony.
And then also you have a porch in the front. That's not your typical steps, it's some kind of porch, right?
Yes,
So it's sort of like a deck porch kind of thing, or what? What is it, or is it concrete?
concrete.
Concrete, and you just kind of have like a little area where they can sit.
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you for that clarification.
Okay, if you, do you mind responding to, there was a comment about an alternative to the deck, which was talking about landscaping at grade? Do
Mhm.
you want to maybe respond to that?
Like a patio, like patio stones or a patio?
Instead of a deck, there was a suggestion about landscaping it at grade instead of a deck.
Yeah, that one is the alternative, but in this situation, like at the building stays, sometimes customer they don't really go with the deck, right?
Sorry?
At the building stays, customer, the first choice is the deck, right?
Mm-hmm. But you have a couple decks already. Like you have a big balcony there and sunroom. So could they not do a patio? Do you know what a patio is?
Yep.
Yeah,
It's a
just a
concrete-
patio with the nice building stones.
So maybe concrete.
Which
or
would
the-
not require you to do a variance.
Mhm.
You have to understand, if
Yeah,
we
we-
start granting variances for all the houses there,
Yeah.
like, once we start that, then it's a
Well, we-
problem, because these are the specifications that has to go with. That's what we have in our zoning bylaw.
Mhm.
So, if you didn't have any balconies, I could kind of understand it, but you have
Two are.
two others, yeah. Yeah,
That's what we can propose to the client, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
yeah,
Just to clarify-
Councilor Bichetti?
That was with the school behind it.
That was with the school
Yeah,
behind it,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, good. Any other questions? All right, seeing none, thank you very much. You can have a seat. Second here.
You have to close the public
Yeah,
hearing?
I'm gonna close it, so be it resolved that council do hereby close the public hearing and resume the regular meeting of council.
So moved.
For mover, Councilor Kleiber, seconder, Councilor Bichetti, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried, thank you. And we have a resolution for the variance. If I could ask our MLO to read that into the record, please?
Certainly. Whereas an application for variance 49-24 was received for the property located at 781 Addis Avenue to reduce the rear yard setback in the RS serviced residential zone from the required 25-foot minimum to 15 feet 4 inches minimum. And whereas under the provisions of the Planning Act, a public hearing has been held to hear representations both for and against the application. Therefore, be it hereby resolved that, after careful consideration, Council of the Arm of West St. Paul hereby approves variation 49-24 with the following conditions. 1, this variance is limited to what is proposed within this application, and any changes will require a new variance approval. And 2, that the applicant obtains permits from the RRPD and the Arm of West St. Paul if required. A variance order will expire and cease to have any effect if it is not acted upon within 12 months of the date of the decision. A board, council, or planning commission may extend the deadline under subsection 1 for an additional period not longer than 12 months if an application is received before the initial deadline.
Thank you, Ms. Shaw. Can I get a mover for that motion? Moved by Councilor Bichetti, seconder? Seconded by Councilor Campbell. Any discussion on this resolution?
Just,
I have some
I'll take a
discussion.
speakers list. I'll start with Councilor Kleiber, Councilor Campbell second.
Yeah, I can't support this because the parameters of that lot are, I mean, the person that purchased this property knew what the parameters were. The other thing is that there's 2 balconies already. I grant one is small, but one is a sunroom and a balcony. So there is outdoor leisure. There's a porch in the front. And I think the best alternative in this situation, in my opinion, is to go with a patio. Because if we go against our own zoning and keep approving all these variances, we're gonna have 20 more behind us. And I think that when people build a home in that area, they have to understand what their lot width and depth is, and they have to stick to it and plan accordingly. So I'm not gonna support this application at this time. I would recommend that the builder suggest a patio in this case, which would not require any variance whatsoever. They can build it as big as they want.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Councilor Kleiber. Councilor Campbell?
I can understand Councillor Kleiber's remarks on this. I think each one has to be kind of looked at individually. If the school wasn't behind this one, then I would 100% agree with you. You know, this is, the school lots, I think, would probably be a little bit harder lot to sell, and they have taken one of the biggest lots available in Meadowlands. So, you know, like I said, if there was houses behind this house, then I would definitely not be in favor of this, especially with the 2 big balconies and the sunroom already. I would be more in favor of a balcony. The only reason I would say that I'm in favor of this is because it is, you know, the schoolyard behind. So just for some clarification for my point of view.
Okay, thank you very much, Councilor Campbell. Councilor Boucher, do you wish to say anything on this? Okay.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I have some comments on this. I'm kind of torn on this because I do, I initially wanted to support this because there was a school behind it, but at the same time, some good comments came up from the representations that I heard today. And I mean, the whole development of Meadowlands, it's already been sort of conceptually approved. But you know what? This is part of the thing here. The houses are consuming a large part of the lot, and purchasers want more amenities on the lots, and as a result, it's causing the process for a variance to kick in. The school hasn't been built yet, but it could be argued. Some people from the school might say, you know what? There's decks that are way too close to the backyard. The backyard established setbacks, and there could be an argument that it's sort of encroaching on the privacy of the students that are playing in the playground. So I'm not sure. I originally wanted to do it, but I heard some good comments, and there was a good alternative, I think, in terms of a nice patio that could be built and that could have perhaps a little fence around the patio. I'd grade as well. So I'm kind of leaning that way. And I think that the customer at the end of the day does have some alternatives here, and I'd like to provide that alternative. So, Councilor, should I see you like to make a comment?
I will make a comment.
Okay.
There were some comments made about the drainage, the soaking into the ground, we're taking up space. But at the same time, putting interlock stones and patio stones is gonna do the same thing. It's gonna, we're taking away from the drainage in the area. And being that it's 2 feet off the ground, not on the second floor, or, split level, that it'd be 4 feet off the ground, I'm leaning towards supporting this, more so that it's the school field that's there, and the residents that purchased the lot did buy the biggest lot available in the area, and I will be supporting this for that simple reason that the schoolyard is there.
I'll just make a further comment. I don't think,
Second
I don't
round,
know, but,
Councilor Kleiber.
yeah, I don't know, maybe the planner can speak to this, or somebody has experience, I don't think interlocking brick is gonna cause problems with your drainage. You can mitigate for that without a problem. But, you know, my concern is that there's a lot more lots along that street, and every one of them is gonna come back for a variance. So I think the people need to know they have to stay within the parameters of those lots. And if they want extra, then they have to come up with a creative solution. And I think a patio is a very creative solution. I think it can be done. And it's the same concept as a deck. And there's some very beautiful patios like that. So, I know we did it at our house. So.
Okay, no further discussion or debate on the matter. Okay, so this is the
You
resolution.
got a mover and seconder?
Yeah, we have a mover and a seconder. I'm gonna call the question. All those in favor of the resolution?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
Motion's defeated.
The motion is defeated. So, that means that the variance has failed, is that correct? So, just letting you know, sir, what, the decision of council was. If you don't have any other matters, you're welcome to stay, or you can.
And I hope we've
get on
offered
with
you
your
some
day.
alternatives of what you could do. Yeah.
Thank you very
Thanks.
much. Okay, so we are now gonna do 5.1.3, resolution for variance order 49 of 24.
Mr. Deputy Mayor,
Sorry,
5.1.4, please.
5.1.4, thank you. We're gonna open the public hearing for variance order VO 74 of 24. Be it resolved that the meeting of council recesses for the purpose of holding a public hearing pursuant to section 96A of the Planning Act. Mover, please. Moved by Councilor
second.
Shetty, Councilor Clyber seconds. All those in favor? Opposed, carried. Thank you. Mr. Planner.
Thank you, sir. As you noted, this is variance number 74. It's for the property located at 48 Holland. It's to reduce the side yard setback from 25 feet down to 19 feet, 10 inches. This, of course, is the municipality's rec center, and as I noted, the variance is to take this from 25 down to 19. The purpose is to construct an addition of just under 1,700 square feet onto an existing garage for some cold storage of equipment and tools and whatnot for the day-to-day maintenance of the property. A bit of a unique circumstance. I'm just going to show you another map here of the zoning. So the property of the rec center is actually split zoned. You have your open space zone for the majority of it, but then off to the east, it is actually an agricultural zone still. So the you can't really see it from here. Actually, you know what? I'll go right to the drawing there. So you can see the shaded part is the existing shop, and the addition is going to be the open kind of white space of the shop. And wouldn't you know it, that the zoning boundary kind of goes right down the middle of this new addition. So the line of demarcation between the two zoning boundaries is right where the new addition is going to be there. So where the existing building is, zoned as open space, there's a side yard setback of 5 feet. And that meets it, absolutely. But once you get into the agriculture zone, right beside it, then you have 25 feet. So this just seems to be a mapping change that needs to occur but hasn't yet, because we haven't been able to update those zoning bylaws for you. From our perspective, it doesn't seem like there would be any great impact, especially since the existing building is already about 19 feet or so away from the property line. So here's just an elevation shot of the addition that's going to take place there. Should council wish to approve this, there's just the two standard conditions that we recommend: that the variance is limited to what's proposed, and that you get all required permits. So that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Eno. Any
let's go
questions for
back
the
to
planner before we open up
that.
representations? Okay, Ms. Elias, is the applicant here? Sorry, we are the
We are the
applicant,
applicant.
sorry.
We are here.
Do we want to say anything at this point, or?
I think Mr. Eno summarized fairly well the situation.
Okay.
We did look out at alternative places to put this, or like maybe building a separate building, but this is what made most sense and what was most economical.
Okay, thank you very much. Registered in support.
No one registered in support or in opposition.
Okay.
A number for information, we have Jerry Belinky.
Okay, we'll start with Ms. Belinky. Please come up, state your name and address for the record.
Jerry Belinky, 354 Garden View Drive. I have a question. Just finding out that it's an ag land that it's gonna be on. I don't know why the land wasn't rezoned, or
Very strange.
is that an ag building then?
Yeah.
That's my question, because I mean, it's sitting on ag land and it's an ag building, so it's not gonna have industrial type
I think
standards,
it's
right?
and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Endo, it's the merging of the two zones that's causing the problem. Is there two zones that are merging together here?
There's two zones that are merging to, yeah, maybe I'll just
Yeah.
do that. I can't recall the past history. I think there was a title that was amalgamated, so the agriculture land used to be on its own, and then it was put together with the municipality got that. So
okay.
that's why it's still kind of a remnant from the past. From a planning perspective, the zone just needs to simply change. And that's a good exercise to go through with the new zoning bylaws, but as you know, we haven't had the resources to be able to do that, so it seems
I'm
like
aware of
a
that.
administrative kind of a thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, continue on.
So
Ms.
the
Belinky.
question is the building gonna be a standard agricultural building, or is it gonna be a commercial building on the other side, is the question. That's, I
Maybe
mean,
our CAO can answer that.
It's an extension of the existing structure. It's
So it'd be
commercial,
the-
commercial building.
commercial building, okay, that's all.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else for information?
Norma Elberg,
Okay, Ms. Alberg, you wish to speak? No? Okay. Let's go. Next
Eleanor
person.
Link,
Ms. Link? Good. Anybody else?
Verinder Brar,
You're good? Okay.
and Mandy Brar,
And you're good? Okay. Anyone?
George Ledoux.
Ledoux? You wish to speak? Oh, you gotta come to the mic, state your name and address for the record, please.
Yeah, my name is George Ledoux, Ledoux.
Yeah, have a seat, have a seat.
Anyway, you've got the dotted line behind all
Sorry,
the
your address, sir, was your address?
180 Parkview Point Drive.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so you've drawn this nice sketch with the dotted line all around this area. I can't see us really being affected by this unless you rezone this public land to 19 feet 10 inches from our property line from 25. I don't know. That's
Do you
what
know
I'm-
the building we're talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
It's not even on this drawing. Where is it?
It's right behind
I know
Maple
where it
Leaf.
is,
Yeah.
but it's not on here. And that's all you want to change. Why do you have to have this dotted line of a whole big area? You know, there's at least 100 residents backing onto this that it seems like you want to change the variance.
We want to change the,
From 25 feet to 19 feet, 10 inches.
Okay.
And that's
Maybe the
not true,
planner
you
could
just
explain
want to
that.
do it for the one building. So this,
Before our planner chimes in, thanks for your comment. Mr. Councilor
I
Bichetti?
just want to make a comment, because I had a lot of calls on this from a lot of my residents in the Parkview area, concerned exactly what you're saying, that, you know, they thought we were changing the whole area to that. And if we would have just done as simple as that arrow, the way they've done it right up there, showing the
Yeah.
existing building site, just to be more clarified, or an aerial photo even. When there's changes like this, I'm gonna recommend that. I think that
yeah, this should be the
that
drawing.
mailer
line.
that goes out, or whatever
Yeah.
goes on the website, is a lot clearer just to show the variance, so
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks for
I
that.
can understand what
that's
you're
my
saying.
point, yeah.
Okay, we'll let the planner make a comment.
Sure,
Mr.
absolutely, Mr. Chairman. Fair point to the councillor. We'll take that in consideration in the future. Under the provincial legislation, we're required to show the entire property on those notices, and we're required to send out letters to everyone touching the entire property. So it's a provincial thing that we have to do. So
Yeah.
I know it's confusing. It doesn't affect you directly.
Yeah, but there should be like a building there that exists,
Doesn't
and then a
affect
dotted
anybody.
line of what you're adding onto it. Like, that's not even on here.
Yeah, we'll try and address that in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Planner.
sorry, it was a little
Thank
bit
you.
confusing
Thank you
maybe.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, anyone else for information?
We also have Jaspreet Gill.
Gaspreet Gill, wish to speak. Please state your name and address for the record, please.
My address is 122 Parkview Point Drive. So my question is this, you guys are going to change a zone of A80 into commercial? The whole one, or what you guys are?
We're extending a building.
Yeah, we're not
So
changing.
there's
We're not
al-
changing anything. Do you know where the Public Works building is by the rink?
Yeah,
We're just extending it a little bit to
also
put some
sh-
equipment in.
the letter shows me that you are also going to change some zone A80 into commercial.
No, that's the problem. We have one commercial zone and one A80.
Yeah,
So instead of changing all the zoning, we're doing a variance.
okay, so you guys also cutting that like 25 feet into 19 feet off from the back of the houses or not?
No, not touching the houses at all.
Okay, so
This
this
is
is
not,
only.
this is not gonna touch any of the houses.
Okay. Nothing on the, like, on the back side, in between the 25
No.
feet
Can you
area?
go back to the picture with the.
Do you know where the rink is?
Yeah,
It's,
One
it's,
ahead. No?
it's by Maple Leaf Construction.
Go back to the other drawing, George.
Yeah.
So this one here, right, the skating rink is right here.
yeah,
Yeah.
Your houses are all here.
yeah,
All we're doing, everybody, is we're making this building right here
uh-huh.
A little bit
19
longer.
feet long, or 70 feet, or whatever it is, longer this way.
That's all we're doing.
Nothing else. Nothing this way towards your houses at all. Just-
Nothing.
Just extending this building this way.
So nothing going to change the, like,
No.
zoning agriculture
No.
into commercial
No.
for
No.
A80?
And that's not
No.
commercial anyway, that would be, what's OS, sorry, just for.
Open space.
Open
Park.
space,
No,
which is
for
recreation.
A80, what is it?
This is ag. A80 is ag land, so we're not changing the
Agricultural.
zoning at all. This is
Okay.
staying A80's ag. The tennis courts are here.
Yeah.
Right, so we're not doing, those are brand new.
Okay.
So the only thing we're doing is this
That's
building
what
right
we're
here.
concerned.
We're making that building just a little bit longer.
Okay.
So I understand it's confusing, as the other gentleman
Yeah.
had said, right, because of jurisdiction, they have to show the whole piece of property.
Yeah.
And that, I understand that that.
That's what makes
that
it
we're doing
confusing.
something at your property, but we're not.
Okay.
You see the purple box there? That's Maple Leaf.
It makes more clarity right now.
That's where we are.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking the question. Thank you. Any other speakers, Ms. Lass? No? Is there anyone else who wishes to speak to the matter or ask questions regarding this matter? Okay,
Everybody gets it.
we will have an opportunity for the applicant to speak again. So Ms. Elias or Mr. Warchop, do you wish to say any closing remarks? Not at this time? Okay, so I'm gonna now, Ms. Shaw is at 5.1.4.2?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna close the public hearing for the variance. So be it resolved that council do hereby close the public hearing and resume the regular meeting of council. Can I get a mover, please? Councilor Campbell moves it, seconder. Councilor Bichetti. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried, thank you. Ms. Shaw, do you mind reading the resolution of the variance order into the record?
Of course. Whereas an application for variance 74-24 was received for the property located at 48 Holland Road to reduce the side yard setback in the A80 agricultural zone from the required 25 feet minimum to 19 feet 10 inches minimum. And whereas, under the provisions of the Planning Act, a public hearing has been held to hear representations both for and against the application, therefore be it hereby resolved that, after careful consideration, Council of the RM of West St. Paul hereby approves variation 74-24 with the following conditions. 1, this variance is limited to what has been presented in this application. Any further changes, replacement, or additions would require a new variance approval. 2, applicant owner obtains all required permits from the Red River Planning District. A variance order will expire and cease to have any effect if it is not acted upon within 12 months of the date of the decision. A board, council, or planning commission may extend the deadline under subsection 1 for an additional period not longer than 12 months if an application is received before the initial deadline.
So moved.
Thank you for reading that, Ms. Shaw. Councilor Clyburn moves it. I need a seconder. Councilor Bichetti seconds it. Any discussion on the motion? Councilor Bichetti.
I'd like to comment on this. I'm gonna be voting in favor of this. We've had some issues at the rec site with, some vandalism and theft of equipment to keep the grounds looking as clean as they do, and I think we need this to get the equipment out of the rink and into a closed, secure building, so I will be supporting this.
for your comments. Any other comments,
Just a
Councillor
comment,
Kleiber?
I hope that in the audience, those that may have language barriers and maybe not understand everything that we said, that other people could explain to them, that we are not impinging on any homes in the Parkview Point area. This is completely away, where all we're doing is we're taking our public works building and we're just doing an addition to it. So as long as everybody's clear on that, your homes are not gonna be affected at all. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Kleiber. Anybody else? No? Okay. I'll call the question on the resolution. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you. We're gonna move on to the next public hearing. Anyone wishes to leave at this point, you feel free to do so. So 5.1.5, we're gonna open the public hearing for the conditional use of CU 17 of 24. Be it resolved that this meeting of council recess for the purpose of holding a public hearing pursuant to section 105 of the Planning Act. Can I get a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Campbell, seconded by Councillor Kleiber. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We now go into the public hearing. Mr. Eno?
Thank you, sir. This is condition use number 17. It's for the property at 8 Elm Drive. It's to allow for a home-based business, specifically a massage business within the service multifamily residential 1 zone. Table 15, the residential use tables lists home occupations within the multifamily zones in your bylaw as conditional, so that's why it has to come to council. The applicant is proposed to have, I guess, clients come to the house for a massage as well, do some mobile services in addition. Here's just an air photo showing the property. It's the north unit, I guess I can say. And then just showing what the applicant has provided in terms of the house layout. So it's the one side of the duplex there. Should council wish to approve this, there's a few conditions for your consideration. One, that the conditional use is limited to what's been presented. Any changes has to come back to council for a new approval. The applicant has to comply with the conditions for the home occupations as outlined in the zoning bylaw, as well as that the applicant has to obtain all required permits and a business license from the municipality. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Eno. Ms. Elias is the applicant here?
Yes, I believe it's Roseanne Guzman.
Mr. Guzman? Yeah. Come to the front, state your name and address for the record, please.
Roseanne Guzman, 8 Elm Drive.
Okay. Just let us know a little bit more about what you're trying to do here.
I am a registered massage therapist. We recently moved here in our community in April. My husband is a soldier, so we are transferred once again. And I have been doing a home business massage therapy ever since I graduated in Edmonton. So now we are here in Manitoba. And right before we moved here in West St. Paul, we live in Brandon, Manitoba. And I work in my home once again. And also I have my small clinic as well in Brandon. So I just like to continue it here. I hope you guys will allow me to work in my home.
Okay, thank you. We'll probably have some questions. Any questions to start off? Councilor Bichetti?
Yes, welcome to West St. Paul.
Thank you.
Regarding how you plan your appointments, you wouldn't have multiple appointments at the same time, you'd be staggering them. The
Yes.
reason I'm asking is for parking issues.
That's correct. And
You know-
I am quite aware with the parking. And it's important for my client to have a right parking space. I only work during the day. My parking space will be available and it can accommodate 2 cars. And I do not take multiple clients. I work mainly when client is booked. So I can accommodate everyone one by one because I won't have any other person working except for me.
Okay, you answered 2 more of my questions. If you were gonna have any employees and your hours of operation, what would they be, just Monday to Friday?
Yes, and I work at 10 o'clock until 5.
Okay, that's it, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Kleiber?
So your only parking is transition between your appointments, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So one
And-
person is going and one person's
Yeah,
coming.
I have 30 minutes gap. I don't do
You like to have a
15.
break in between?
Yes,
Yeah.
because right before that, after you finish a client, I have to clean the room.
Clean the bed and-
sanitize
yeah.
all my equipments and
Yeah.
ready for another client. And with that, I also do my paperwork.
Yeah, so you've
Because
only
I
got
do-
one person at a time.
Yes, I do everything by myself. That's
Good.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, we'll just ask you to stand down for the time being. You'll get a chance to come back.
Thank you.
Ms. Elias, all those, anyone in support?
No one else registered in support. We did receive an email in opposition from Oksana Amnaval. She noted concern about Elm Drive not having a sufficient capacity to accommodate businesses with additional parking spaces.
Is the residence in Weston Hall, this person? Okay, do you have
Yes,
the
in
address? Sorry.
Parkview Point.
Parkview Point?
Do you have an address, just to make clarification where in the area it is?
It would be Ivy Row. So the street behind,
Yeah.
the street to the west of Elm.
Okay, anyone else in opposition or?
No one else registered in opposition. For information is Gary Belinky.
Okay, Mr. Belenky, do you wish to speak to this? Yeah. Okay, name and address for the record, please.
Jerry Belenky, 354 Garden View Drive. I'm sort of concerned about what's happening here, because this is not the first one we've had come through here for home occupancy, and it just seems that we're sort of taking away from single-family residential into sort of a mixed commercial. And, I think we're on a bad slope here. It's a big area, lots of new people, expenses are high, people want to make extra money, I understand all that. But just because nobody has complained, it doesn't mean that they approve it. So I think, I'm not against it. I sort of think that maybe a time limit on it to see how it works with the people. Perhaps a year or something like that, that we could, council could put some restriction on it that, to see how it goes. Because I don't think everybody is just going to their computer or clicking on it to see what it is. Because, having a square on it and saying conditional use, people don't know what it means. They didn't say what it was going to be. So I think a little bit more information would be helpful, but I think people who are going to take the heat is the council. So I think something like that should be considered.
Okay, thanks for your comments. Councilor Bichetti?
Just to clarify, on a conditional use, council does have the availability to review it, and if we do see issues happening with multiple cars parking, whatever it may be, more people working at it, we do have we can pull the conditional use.
I think if you put a time limit on it, it would just make a notice to everybody in the area that if we come to apply, the possibility of having it changed, so maybe we don't want to make the investment, because you are making an investment of time, building and everything else. So, but I think you have to consider all the other residents there, whether they want it. Just because nobody's complaining doesn't mean that they want it.
We already have a massage therapy in, home-based in.
I know we do,
West St.
that's what I'm
Paul.
saying, we just keep.
We have no issues at all.
Yeah, that we know.
I've gone to a massage therapist that has their business in their
Yeah,
home.
and-
There are no issues.
And we also
And that's
have-
in the city of Winnipeg, where it's really busy.
Yeah, and also we have hairdressers, a few of them that come in for conditional
Again,
uses, so.
But there haven't been
It's
any
just my
issues.
opinion, like, you know.
Like, what issues are you looking for? Like,
Well,
the
because it's a
parking's not an issue.
It's a residential, it's not,
Mhm.
it doesn't say residential with a part-time business.
It's not a
zone.
retail business, though.
Well, that's just what
Yeah.
I'm saying, I'm
just
not
clarifying,
against
it's
it,
not
but
a
I.
retail business.
I'm
It's
sorry?
it's not a retail business where you have people coming in and out, in and out. It's one person at a time.
Nobody turns business away.
1 second, Councilor.
Okay.
Okay.
I just want to comment on a couple of things. The reason I wouldn't, you mentioned the timeline. I wouldn't want to put a 12-month timeline, and in 3 months, we see something happening, and now we have that 12-month limit on there that we said, well, we're going to look at it in 12 months. If we see something happening in 3 months, I'd like to say, let's deal with it right at the
Yeah, like,
beginning.
I'm 12 months or 2 years, it doesn't matter to me, it's like,
That's,
I mean,
to
if
me,
it's
not
good, it's
putting a
good.
timeline is how we can answer through
Yeah.
our conditional
It's-
use. And you made a comment, it's not residential, commercial. No, that's why she applied for a home-based business.
As a
And that's
conditional
why we
use,
have the
exactly.
conditional.
but what I'm saying is,
I know what you're saying, I heard you.
when people buy a piece of property, they're not expecting this next door, right? This is what I'm saying. So, whatever.
Thank you for your
Okay.
comments, appreciate that. Anyone else, and for information, last?
For information is Norma Albert
Ms. Albert? You're good, okay, next.
and Eleanor Link.
Ms. Link? Name and address for the record, please.
Eleanor Link, 1045 Toshack Road. Just a quick question. There's followed first a comment. The zoning bylaw is pretty clear on what's the definition of a home-based business and how to keep it being a home-based business. One thing that's not in the report, there is a restriction on the size of the room, but the size of the room isn't in the report. Does anybody know if the room that's planned complies with the square foot limitation of 20% of the size of the home?
Okay, well, we can ask that of the applicant.
Okay, and then I heard, I couldn't hear properly, I apologize. I heard the word employee.
There are no employees.
No, thank you. Thank you for clarifying that, thank you.
Ms. Lynn, thank you. Any others, anyone else who wishes to speak that hasn't registered on this matter? Okay, we'll call the applicant back. Ms. Rosario, you can address the comments and questions that were brought up. Maybe you can start with the room size.
I have all the information in the to show it to you.
No, just what is the room size that you're using?
20 by 9.
20 by 9.
284 is 20%.
Yeah, so you were with it, she's within the 20%.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. You've got, and then any employees that you?
No,
you're
I
the
do
only
not
employee?
have employee. I'm by myself.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good. Good. Any other questions of council? Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll move on to closing the public hearing. So be it resolved that council do hereby close the public hearing and resume the regular meeting of council. Mover, please. Moved by Councillor Bichetti, seconded by Councillor Campbell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, carried. All right, so we have a resolution for the conditional use of 17 of 24. Ms. Shaw, do you mind reading that to the record, please?
Certainly. Whereas the applicant has applied for conditional use 17-24 to permit a home-based massage business at 8 Elm Drive in the RMF1 serviced multifamily residential zone, and where, I'll just pause for a moment.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Good. See you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Night. We'll be done in 3 minutes.
Shall I continue?
Continue on,
Yeah.
Ms. Shaw, yeah, thank you.
And whereas, under the provisions of the Planning Act, a public hearing has been held to hear representations for and/or against the conditional use application, now therefore be it resolved that the rural municipality of West St. Paul approves conditional use 17-24 under the following conditions. 1, this conditional use is limited to what has been presented in this application. Any further changes, replacements, or additions would require a new conditional use approval. 2, applicant owner complies with the required conditions as per the home occupation section of the zoning bylaw. 3, applicant owner obtains all required permits and approvals from the Red River Planning District. 4, applicant owner obtain a business license from the Arm of West St. Paul. The approval of a conditional use will expire and cease to have any effect if it is not acted upon within 12 months of the date of the decision. A board, council, or planning commission may extend the deadline under subsection 110 sub 1 for an additional period not longer than 12 months if an application is received before the initial deadline, and for a second period of no more than 12 months if an application is received before the expiry of the first extension.
Okay, thank you for reading that. Councilor Bichetti, I believe, has an amendment to make.
I was just wondering if we can add one condition, well, I guess 2, the hours are Monday to Friday, as stated. And that no signage gets put up in the home, on the window or anything like that, just to show business.
To 10 to 5, is that correct? 10 to 5? Okay.
Do you have a mover and a
Not-
seconder for that?
Well, not yet. We're just, the motion's just being
Okay.
put together.
But we have to agree to that,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, can I get a mover for that?
Well, first of all, I have a question about that. What
Oh.
hours are you restricting this person to? Just
As-
Monday to Friday?
10 to 5, that's, as she
10
stated.
to 5? If she goes 10 to 6, are we calling her conditional use? That's what I'm saying,
It's if we start getting complaints that there's people there
Yeah.
at 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, you know.
I don't think that's gonna
The
happen.
the biggest thing
I
I
don't
had
think
was
so.
not putting a sign up. That was my biggest thing, but I
Yeah.
just figured, usually we'll put the hours of a home-based business into the, that's what
Yeah.
we've regularly done on a home-based business, so.
I would just say Monday to Friday, not past 6. Because, what if somebody needs to
Yeah,
come in early
sure.
before they
I
go
was
to
good
work,
with
right?
that. More the signage. I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to see a sign in a window in a residential
Not
area.
past 6, no signage, and there's no restriction on, we're good with the part-time.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna need a mover for that.
I'll move it.
Moved by Councilor Shetty, seconded by Councilor Campbell. Any further discussion? Call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, carried. Carried unanimously. Thank you very much. Good luck. Okay, so we're now moving on to number 6, general planning matters. We have a subdivision. So, just a second here. Subdivision, there's no thing to open. I'll call the, Mr. Eno, presentation on the subdivision.
Thank you, sir. This is subdivision application S243063. It's for the property located at 808 Miller Road, and it's to create 2 rural residential lots within the rural residential overlay zone. Oh, is it switching on me? There we go. There's the air photo of the subject property where you can see the existing house and driveway and a little bit of a shelter belt there of the existing vegetation. Here's the subject or the layout of the subject property. The applicant's proposing to create 2 lots. One will be about 2.8 acres and one will be just over 2 acres in size. The home site will be 198 feet and the new lot will be 144 feet in size. As per the zoning bylaw, you're required to have 2 acres and 198 feet of frontage. The one lot does not meet the frontage just because there isn't enough room to any way you split it. But they both meet the minimum lot sizes. From a planning perspective, I'm usually more concerned about the lot size because that relates to land use and density, that sort of thing. This has been circulated to the government departments at the province. There are no concerns that came up. Should council wish to approve this, there are just very few conditions from the municipality that the applicant owner submits confirmation from the municipality that all taxes and development levies have been paid, a drainage or locating plan be prepared, a development agreement be entered into addressing various items but not limited to development fees, servicing, access, drainage, grading, that sort of thing. The applicant obtained variances for that undersized lot width. And this is a little bit of an oddball one, but that the applicant provides confirmation from the Manitoba Historical Resource Branch that they prepared a heritage resource protection plan. This is kind of a new thing that we've been seeing from them. They used to require these full-blown archaeological assessments, and now they want these protection plans that, from what I understand, is something in place. Should you start digging and find something, what are you supposed to do? It's a little bit weird just basing where we are. I'm just going to bring the air photo up.
That's more for river lots, though, is it not?
You typically do see that along river lots or large properties that have some sort of connection to a river area or where there's been known to be settlements, historical settlements, that sort of thing. Sorry, I've just lost my...
So, just a question there, would they just put together a plan that says if I dig anything up of concern, I'll contact you?
That's essentially it.
Yeah.
That's what I understand. It's not a full-blown... Shoot. Sorry, I can't get my computer working here.
But I'm not doing the digging, and the landowner would.
Close. Oh.
Okay. Okay, so
Okay.
Councillor Bichetti has a question for the planner?
So would that just be a caveat on the property then?
It could be something that's addressed through the, development agreement if you
Yeah.
want. You could just say that they have to prepare that and you throw that on the development agreement so that the future landowner could address it.
Just so it's.
That's also something that's, that could happen.
I have another question.
Yeah, Councillor Clyber?
So my only question is, the second lot does not meet the frontage.
Yes.
But the only reason you would wanna meet the frontage anyways on a 2-acre lot is, used to be septic fields, but it's in Red River Corridor now. So will the initial lot that still has the septic field, that would stay as a septic field? And the second lot would be holding tank, is that correct?
That's what I understand.
Or do
Just-
both, does the first lot have to be decommissioned?
Hold on
I don't
just a
think
quick
so. It meets the
second.
requirement.
It meets the requirement. It's
Uh,
only if they have to repair it or fix it. they-
Environmental compliance said they don't have any concerns.
Okay, good.
So I'm assuming from that, septic field can stay. Typically what we see is if there's a septic field and they want it removed, they make that, or they request that be a condition of the approval. They didn't state anything.
But
Right.
just so, if this septic field fails on the original house, there can be no new septic fields in the River Corridor.
No, like you
Yeah.
can't even get a license for it.
Yeah.
And respectfully to council, I would just leave that up to the province.
Yes.
I don't have any rhyme or reason why sometimes they allow for septic fields and sometimes they don't, so I just leave it up to them. That's sort of their wheelhouse.
Okay, thank you for that.
Can I?
No, you, sorry, fortunately, it's not a public hearing, so.
Okay, I can ask
That's-
questions. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask you later.
Okay. Okay, any other questions or comments on this? All right, so.
The one comment I'll make is I know this client, this applicant has been wanting to do this for quite a while, as have some of other people, the other people on Miller Road. And I'm glad that we passed a resolution that they can now go ahead with these things. So I'll support the application.
Okay.
Right, I guess, Mr. Chair, just on that as a bit of a background, because maybe yourself or I know Councillor Kleiber being, I'll say newer to council, there used to be a moratorium on subdivisions in this area, so I would suspect we're probably gonna see more of these come forward.
Yeah, well, it was a drainage issue.
Of the infill,
that's-
exactly right.
That's done.
I would imagine it'll be similar to what we've seen on like Willis and Jackman and those kinds of areas.
Yeah.
Good, okay, I'm gonna get the MLO to read the resolution into the record.
Thank you. Be it resolved that the Council for the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul, under Section 125(1) of the Planning Act, approve subdivision application S24-3063 for the property located at 808 Miller Road to subdivide the 4.88 acre lot into 2 parcels, with one measuring 2.82 acres and the other measuring 2.06 acres in size, subject to the following conditions. 1, applicant owner submits confirmation in writing from the Chief Administrative Officer of the municipality that A, taxes on the land to be subdivided for the current year plus any arrears have been paid or arrangements satisfactory to council have been made. B, payment of any applicable development levies have been paid. C, a drainage or lot grading plan to be prepared by a qualified engineer to the satisfaction of the municipality and to ensure that the proposed properties do not drain into or impede drainage from neighboring properties. D, a development agreement has been entered into to address the following, but not limited to: development fees, servicing, access, drainage lot grading plan to be prepared by a qualified engineer and submitted prior to any development to the satisfaction of the municipality. Applicant owner to applicant owner to provide confirmation for Manitoba Historic Resources Branch that a heritage resource protection plan has been prepared to their satisfaction. 3, applicant owner obtains variance approval from the arm of West St. Paul Council for the proposed undersized lots.
Thank you, Ms. Shaw, you do such a great job of reading that into the record, thank you. Mover,
move it.
please, moved by Councillor Kleiber, seconder, Councillor Bichetti. Any comments? I just want to say thank you to the applicant. I do see them in the audience, and Ms. Chimmy was very instrumental in advocating for the, that council consider this, and a motion was considered by this council on May the 9th of 2024, and was passed unanimously. So again, thank you to Ms. Chimmy, and it's good to see that you're doing the subdivision on this, and as Councillor Kleiber said, I'm sure that there'll be more to come. So on that, on the motion, we have a mover, seconder. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, carried. Thank you very much. There we go. Have a good night. You're welcome. We now have confirmation, general planning matter as well. We'll say good night to the planner, I think.
Is there anything else council needs of me?
Anything else for the council at this point? I don't think so.
Thank you for your time.
Okay,
Okay,
have a good
thank
night. We're gonna move to confirmation of minutes. So 7.1, we have committee of the whole meeting of July the 9th. So be it resolved that the minutes of the committee of the whole meeting of council held on July the 9th, 2024 be approved. Mover, please.
We'll move it.
By Councilor Kleiber, I need a seconder. Councilor Bichetti. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, carried. We're gonna move to 7.2, the regular planning meeting of July 11th, 2024. Be it resolved that the minutes of the regular planning meeting of council be held on July 11th, 2024 be approved. Need a mover for that, please. Moved by Councilor Bichetti. Councilor Campbell, do you want to second that? Okay, second by Councilor Campbell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, carried. Move on to 7.3, special meeting of council on July 30th. Be it resolved that the minutes of the special meeting of council held on July 30th, 2024 be approved. Need a mover for that?
Move it.
Moved by Councilor Kleiber, seconded by Councilor Bichetti. Call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Delegations, none. Bylaws for consideration, none. Number 10, accounts for invoices for payment, nothing. Moving on to 10.1, accounts. We have several items for information. Moving on to number 11, payroll of monthly statement resolution. Ms. Shaw, do you want to read that into the record, please?
Certainly. Be it resolved that the payroll for the month of June as follows be approved as presented.
Okay, we have the presentation. Can I get a mover for that, please?
So moved.
Moved by Councilor Campbell, seconded by Councilor Kleiber. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, carried. We're gonna move on to the CAO report, so.
No,
be
we're
it
gonna do the financial
Oh, sorry, I
statement.
missed that. Thank you, Councilor Kleiber. Sorry. Financial statements for the period ending June 30th. Be it resolved that the council of the rural municipality of West St. Paul approve the financial statements for the period ending June 30th of 2024. Mover, please. Moved by Councilor Bichetti, seconded by Councilor Kleiber. Any discussion on that? I'll call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, carried. Moving on to the CAO report. Be it resolved that the council of the rural municipality of West St. Paul accept the CAO report as information. I'll need a mover for that, please. Moved by Councilor Campbell, seconded by Councilor Bichetti. Any discussion, questions for the CAO? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Moving on to communications. Miscellaneous correspondence for the month of July. Be it resolved that the council of the rural municipality of West St. Paul accept the miscellaneous correspondence for the month of July as information. Councilor Kleiber, you want to move that?
Sure, I'll move it.
Moved by Councilor Kleiber, seconded by Councilor Bichetti. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Moving on to general business, section 15. 15.1, miscellaneous meeting dates. Be it resolved that the council of the rural municipality of West St. Paul authorize attendance at the following meetings: July 12th, Rosser, City Protection Drain, Mayor Trujan. Can I get a mover for that, please?
So moved.
Moved by Councilor Bichetti, seconded by Councilor Kleiber. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Moving on to 15.2, Whistler Hall.
Yeah. That's where you.
It was, I thought it was an
No,
addendum.
that one's in.
It's included, right? This is an addition to the addendum. 15.2.
Oh, that was the addition.
MLO?
That was the addition,
Yeah,
yes.
so we're dealing with
Correct.
this.
So
So
there's,
we have to decide if we want the rubber mat or
Okay.
not.
So we have a resolution, we'll read it into the record, get the MLO to read it.
whereas the rural municipality of West St. Paul 2024 financial plan includes Whistler Hollow Playground and Equipment and includes Whistler Hollow Playground Equipment and Landscaping as a capital project with a budget value of $150,000. And whereas the rural municipality of West St. Paul issued tender 2024-04 for the construction of the Whistler Hollow Playground and Park. And whereas the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul passed Resolution 2024-277 to accept the bid for the construction of the Whistler Hollow Playground and Park submitted by Blue Imp in the amount of $131,789.43 plus GST. And whereas the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul requested administration to obtain a change order quotation for a rubberized outdoor surface instead of pea gravel base, now therefore be it resolved that, 1, the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul increase the budget for the Whistler Hollow Playground Equipment and Landscaping Capital Project from $150,000 to $170,000. 2, the proposed change order for the supply and installation of pour-in-place rubber and wood border at an increased project cost of $163,509.43 plus GST be approved. And 3, the additional funds be borne by the Green Space Dedication Reserve.
Okay.
Just for clarification, point 2, the project does not increase by that amount, the budget of the project increases by that amount. I apologize for any confusion there.
So it's increased project budget, is that what you're trying to say?
Well, the increased project award, Mr. CAO?
Yeah, well, there's a change order, so the project cost increases to $163,509.34 plus GST.
Okay.
The budget will be increasing to $170,000 to allow for any permitting contingencies or otherwise.
Got it. Okay, thank you. Need a mover for that?
I'll move it.
Moved by Councillor Kleiber, seconder. Councillor Campbell seconds it. Discussion?
Yeah,
Councillor
I'm fine
Campbell?
with
Or
the,
Councillor
I'm
Campbell?
fine with the resolution, that's the way it is.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we had a bunch of discussion about this, I think it's been good discussion. I just wanna make sure that, because it is a little bit confusing with all the back and forth that we have done, that the playground was as it was first quoted to us with the rock climbing wall?
Correct.
Okay, that was the biggest thing that I just wanted to.
Yeah.
I didn't wanna be like voting on it and be like, okay.
The only change is the footprint of the mat has been reduced to, I believe it's 2,334 square feet. Do I have that right? Yeah, 2,334 square feet from an original mat size of 2,705 square feet.
Okay, any other discussion?
So we're still gonna have the rock then?
Yes.
Yeah.
The climbing rock.
Yep, good.
Okay, it's just a couple comments I want to put on the record. I think this is a good, really good project for the arm of West St. Paul, and I think all residents will benefit from it. I'm really particularly happy that this council is supporting the rubberized outdoor surface. I think that's good from an accessibility point. We heard some comments from the community about that, and we're looking to always improve and develop more of an accessibility lens, and perhaps there'll be other projects to help support the accessibility of this structure. But the way it is with Councillor Campbell advocating for the rock feature, I think that's great, and overall it'll be a good project for the Whistler Hollow neighborhood.
Yeah, and it's a good access, like, good for mobility and access, that's what I'm really pleased with.
Good, okay. I'll call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, carried. We're moving on to the tender, 15.3, for the tandem axle dump truck complete with drop-in standing unit. We have a resolution here. Be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul accept the bid for the supply of tandem axle dump truck complete with drop-in standing unit submitted by Inland Truck and Equipment in the amount of $309,634.78 plus GST. Can I get a mover?
So moved.
Moved by Councillor Kleiber, seconded by Councillor Bichetti. And Councillor Bichetti, want to speak to it?
Yeah, I just wanted
Councillor
to
Campbell.
could we add the timeline on there that they did put with the tender? Because that is one of the main reasons we decided to go with this rather than the low bid.
That they
Just to
deliver
that it-
by.
120 days, within the 120 days of award.
Okay, should there be any
No.
issues with that? No.
That is one of the one of the reasons we went with this
Yeah.
from the lowest bid, so that we're getting it for this winter and using it this winter.
Okay. And so just for
In
clarification, the CAO.
in the event that that period of time extends to hypothetically 125 days
Let's not put the days then, within the time frame
specified.
So
Okay.
there's unforeseens happening all the time in this world, since
Yeah.
everything's
Yeah.
happening, so.
I'm okay.
I would not say put a date, but just go
Within time specified.
Within reason of the date specified.
Yes,
In the 10%.
I'm comfortable with that.
Okay, good to hear. Councillor Campbell?
One thing, and I had discussed it with our CEO earlier today and with Public Works, is I think the only thing I would like to change is that we keep our trade, especially, you know, found out that we just safetied it, like currently. You know, and we should, and we can either, especially with a safety vehicle, we can either put it up on gov bids, because the amount that we were getting for the trade-in, in my opinion, was
Too low?
Too low.
Yeah, so.
And how does our CEO feel about that?
I think that's something we could accommodate. If we go to govbids.com or governmentauctions.com, whatever it's called, we don't know what we're gonna get. There's some risk involved in that. The trade-in value offered by Inland is $5,000. For clarification, the truck is still in use today, and it does need an annual safety. So that's the type of work that does need to be done on it. So to keep the truck in use today, through to and we use it for summertime operations, clearing ditches, hauling vegetation and so forth. So we need it to be functioning until the new truck arrives. So that's why we're keeping it in operational. It will be a function, to your point, Councillor Campbell, it will be a functioning safety vehicle when the new vehicle arrives. And so I don't have any objection to taking it to auction, and I think there's a reasonable chance that the market would provide maybe a more favorable outcome than $5,000. So if that's council's desire, we could try. There's a risk, right? We might wind up with 3,000. I don't know. It depends what kind of reserve bid we want to place on it, right? But it's similar to what we do with the fire truck, and if you recall, and that worked out well. So I'd be comfortable trying that again.
Okay, Councillor Bichetti and then Councillor Kleiber.
So should we change the resolution to 315,000 or?
That's what you'd need to do, is you'd change the resolution to 314,634 and 78 cents.
Okay, and we have a mover seconder amenable to that?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, good. We have an amended motion. I'll call, any further speakers?
I'll just,
Councillor Campbell?
I'll make one, you know, I went by and took a look at the truck today, and, you know, the truck looks in really good shape still, right? Like the tires are, if it was looking like it was in a demolition derby and the tires were all worn and whatever, I would say, yeah, we'd just let it go, but, I think it looks still like a decent truck, and we bought that truck brand new,
Good.
so.
Yeah, so your comment is just basically to maximize the opportunity to get the best trading value. Okay.
Thanks for taking that initiative. Appreciate it.
All right, I'll call the question. Good discussion.
Mr. Deputy Mayor?
Sorry. Oh, Michelle.
Can I just get clarification on how council wants the phrasing for the time?
It's up to, as per the bid submission, that the delivery be.
In a reasonable time as per submitted in the tender.
Oh, you don't have to say reasonable, just say as per.
Well, if it goes off a little bit, as long as they're not gonna double it, that would not be reasonable.
Okay, I see, okay,
20,
so.
If it's a couple of days here and there. it's
In a
not big
reasonable
deal.
time frame as per the,
Submission.
Delivery date specified.
delivery date specified.
There you go.
Okay, you good, Michelle?
Thank you.
Okay.
It's nice to get it
Thank you.
before it of winter.
Okay, I'll call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carried. 15.4, West St. Paul Fire Department appointment of additional member. We have a resolution. Be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul appoint Mitchell Kubis to the West St. Paul Fire Department effective August 8th, 2024, with the condition he obtains a medical license from the College of Paramedics within 6 months of his appointment date. Councilor Bichetti, did you have a?
No,
You wanna move it?
sorry, yeah.
You wanna move it? Seconder? Councilor Kleiber, or Councilor Campbell?
Councilor Campbell move something.
Okay.
Seconds on there.
Any discussion on that resolution? I'll call the question. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed, carried. Next is 15.5, appointments to the Board of Revision. Ms. Shaw, do you mind reading that one for the record?
Certainly. Be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul appoint Glenn Lescue, Terry Neplick, and Lauren Ned Saunders to the 2024 Arm of West St. Paul Board of Revision to be held on Wednesday, November 6, 2024. And further be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul appoint Glenn Lescue to serve as the presiding officer of the Board of Revision and Director of Finance Crystal Shahada to act as secretary to the appointed board. And further be it resolved that they be remunerated in accordance with bylaw number 2014-14.
Thank you, Michelle. I need a mover for that resolution, please. Moved by Councillor Kleiber, seconded by Councillor Bichetti. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Moving on to 15.6, tax sale reserve bid. We have a resolution. Be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul place a reserve bid on property subject to tax sale in the amount of property tax arrears plus penalties to October 16th of 2024, plus tax sale costs in respect of property to be sold at the tax sale on October 16th of 2024. Can I get a mover, please?
So
Moved
moved.
by Councillor Bichetti,
Second.
second by Councillor Kleiber. Any discussion on that motion? I'll call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. 15.7, miscellaneous correspondence policy. Be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul approve and adopt miscellaneous correspondence policy ADM 2024-02 as presented. Who'd like to move that? Councillor
I'll move
Kleiber?
it.
Moved by Councillor Kleiber, seconded by Councillor Bichetti. Discussion on the motion?
I think we discussed it at committee of the whole, right?
Jane, do you need to-
Yeah, I think we discussed this at committee of the whole. We decided to change it so that we don't have to do a resolution, accept it as information.
Good, yeah, you spearheaded that.
There's no execution as far as what we have to do on that anyway, so.
Excellent. Okay, thanks, Councilor Kleiber. Any further discussion? I'll call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. 15.8, West St. Paul Trails Committee, terms of reference. The resolution reads, be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul approve the amended terms of reference for the West St. Paul Trails Committee as presented, and further be it resolved that Murray Luchinsky be appointed to the West St. Paul Trails Committee as a member of the public. I'll need a mover for that. Moved by Councillor Bichetti, seconder.
A second.
Okay, Councillor Campbell seconds it. Any further discussion on that, or discussion? Okay, I'll call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those carried. 15.
Oh, wait,
Con-
wait.
Sorry.
Councilors, if I could interrupt.
Mr. Wardrop, yeah?
Yeah, thank you, Councilor Patrick. Just for correction, the quoted price for the tandem truck without the trade-in,
Oh, sorry, so we're moving to item
Cool.
15.3?
yeah,
Mr. Saylor?
back,
Okay.
yeah, I apologize. The quoted value of that item is, without the trade-in, is $314,984.78, as opposed to $314,634.78, which is what, the number I gave you.
Taxes on the 5,000.
I think that's where the difference is. Basically, it's a $350 difference than we had in the resolution. So I think we need to amend, we need to amend it.
When you take a trade-in,
Yeah.
GST is included on the trade-in, but now that we're not, we have to pay the
Oh, I see, okay.
GST.
So,
Yeah.
Ms. Shaw, we need to revise that?
Yes,
If
apologies.
If council is amenable, we'll just make the correction as an administrative
Okay,
correction.
Council,
Yeah.
okay, sounds good, thank you.
Okay.
You have your direction,
Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart. Move on to the sponsorship request, 15.9, 1v1 Football Dream Soccer Academy. There's a resolution, be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul approves sponsorship for the 1v1 Football Dream Soccer Academy in the amount of $1,500. Councilor Bichetti, you want to move that?
Yes, I do.
Seconder by Councilor Kleiber. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those carried. Are we in Canada's moving in Canada?
At 15.10,
15.
the addendum.
Oh, sorry, here we are. Addendum, section 15.10, addendum tender 2024-06, construct pedestrian and bicycle paths and ditch regarding the access center recreation site. We have a resolution, be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul accept the bid for the construction of pedestrian and bicycle paths and ditching regarding the access center recreation site submitted by Curb to Curb Maintenance, Inc. for $113,054.70 plus GST.
I'll move.
Moved by Counselor
second.
Kleiber, seconded by Counselor Campbell. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. What was the motion? Nothing
We're in
for
camera now.
moving camera. We're gonna move in camera. So our resolution be resolved that in accordance with section 1523 of the Municipal Act, council do now move in camera to discuss matters that are in preliminary stages and respecting which discussion in public prejudice the municipality's ability to carry out its activities or negotiations, and a report of the ombudsman. Be it further resolved that in accordance with section 183 of 1D of the Municipal Act, any issues that are discussed are kept confidential until discussed at a regular meeting of council. Mover, please. Councillor Bichetti, seconded by Councillor Kleiber. All those in favor?
Aye.
That's carried. Okay, moving into camera. Anyone that are not staff or council, thank you very much. Have a good night.
Good night.
Okay, so we are coming out of camera, and we'll do the rise and report, 18.3. We have a few items here. We have a number of development agreements, servicing agreements. So 18.3.1, development agreement, CU 7 of 24. Be it resolved that Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul approve the development agreement for conditional use CU 7 of 24 of the property located at 1550 Pipeline Road. And further, be it resolved that the mayor and CEO be authorized to sign the development agreement. Moved by Councillor Kleiber, seconded by Councillor Bichetti. Any discussion? I'll call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Thank you. On item 18.3.2, servicing agreement amendment, S212932. Ms. Shaw, do you mind reading this one?
Certainly. Be it resolved that Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul approve amending the servicing agreement for subdivision S21-2932 for Phase 2 of the Meadowlands Residential Development by removing a section of sidewalk that was to have been located on the west side of Cowley Street due to feedback from adjacent property owners between Addis Avenue and Meadowland Drive. This section of street will still have a sidewalk on the east side of the road to provide safe pedestrian access. And further be it resolved that the mayor and CAO be authorized to sign any amended pages of the servicing agreement addressing the sidewalk removal.
Thank you, Ms. Shaw. Could someone move that?
I'll move.
Councillor Campbell, seconded by Councillor Bichetti. Discussion on the motion or resolution?
Nope.
Nope. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Moving on to item 18.3.3, development agreement S222946. Ms. Shaw, do you mind reading that one?
Certainly. Be it resolved that Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul approve the development agreement for subdivision S22-2946, and further be it resolved that the mayor and CAO be authorized to sign the development agreement.
I'll move it.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor Kleiber, seconded by Councillor Bichetti. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Carried. 18.3.4, development agreement S222965. Ms. Shaw?
Be it resolved that Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul approve the development agreement for subdivision S22-2965. And further be it resolved that the mayor and CAO be authorized to sign the development agreement.
Okay, moved by Councillor Bichetti, seconded by Councillor Kleiber. Do you mind to second that?
Go ahead.
Councillor Kleiber, okay. Any discussion? All those in favor? It's carried. 18.3.5, development agreement S23 of 3006. Ms. Shaw?
Be it resolved that Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul approve the development agreement for subdivision S23-3006, and further be it resolved that the mayor and CAO be authorized to sign the development agreement.
Okay, moved by Councillor Bichetti, seconded by Councillor Kleiber. Any discussion? No. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Last item, second last item, 18.3.7, Manitoba Ombudsman File MO 1968 of 2019-0511. Ms. Shaw?
Be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul accepts the Manitoba Ombudsman response to file MO-00168/2019/0511.
Moved by Councillor Kleiber, seconded by Councillor Campbell. Discussion, seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. And adjournment. So be it resolved that this meeting of council stand adjourned at 8:41 p.m. Mover by Counselor Bichetti, seconded by Counselor Campbell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, those carried. We're adjourned.